Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Sonic Multiverse. Today we're continuing What If Tales Became Infinite. We're jumping right in with the knowledge that you're caught up to date, so if you're not, I'd recommend going back and watching the previous installments. But without further ado, let's continue the saga. We open in the ruins of Sunset Heights, a city left in decay after an attack by the Eggman Empire. Life is tough for those who used to live in this city. They either have to scrounge up whatever scraps they can to survive, or surrender themselves to the Eggman Empire. However, in the center of the city, in one of the few buildings left partially standing, is where those who are willing to fight call home. This is Resistance HQ. Within the depths of the base, many brave freedom fighters work together to save the world from Dr. Eggman, led by none other than Amy Rose. Now, before we go any further, I feel like I should explain why I chose Amy to be the leader of the Resistance in this AU rather than Knuckles. First off, I never really liked Knuckles being the commander. Yes, I know his ancestors were a warring tribe, but that doesn't necessarily mean Knuckles reflects that. I mean, he's much more of a punch first, ask questions later kind of guy. That isn't exactly what you want from leadership. We even see in Sonic Forces that his rash decision-making gets 80% of their forces wiped out. And considering they made no progress within the 6 months, yeah, I just don't think Knuckles was the right fit for it. And even in IDW, they explicitly state that although Knuckles is the commander on paper, Amy was the one really operating things. So I just decided to just outright make her the commander in this AU. Besides, Knuckles is a bit busy at the moment, but we'll get back to that. Amy picked up a comm unit. Team Chaotix, I need an update on the Cryptic Castle assault. No response. Team Chaotix, please respond. Still no response. Amy was about to send out a search party when suddenly the doors to the control room swung open. Relax, we're back. Our comm systems were taken out though, along with half our squad. Half? But on top of you 3, there were 17 other soldiers. Who could have... Amy paused. She already knew the answer. Tails. Vector nodded. He ripped through us like we were made of paper mache. In more ways than one. We were lucky to get out of there alive. Some of us more scathed than others. Vector paused. The people are losing hope. They're giving into despair. And I don't blame them. Just then, 2 more figures entered the room, Blaze and Silver. Fear isn't a luxury we have. Blaze is right. If we want to stop Eggman, we're just gonna have to keep fighting back with everything we got. Yeah? And what do we have? For every badnik we destroy, 1,000 more are built. And while our soldiers recover, Eggman's heavy hitters are still out there. So unless you can get your gems working again, Princess, we don't have anything. Vector, of course, was referring to the Soul Emeralds. These 7 fiery gems were like the Chaos Emeralds of Blaze's dimension, and had brought her here shortly before Eggman conquered the world. However, since Eggman's rule began, the emerald's color had faded, and their energy seemed off. Vector, I am trying my hardest to understand what happened to the Soul Emeralds and find a way to reverse it, but to try using them in this state could be disastrous. Well, excuse me, Princess, but how much worse could it possibly get? Amy quickly stepped in. Knock it off, you two. How are you supposed to fight Eggman if you're too busy fighting each other? Both heroes stopped arguing, but simply glared. Vector was quiet, before finally closing with, maybe if you were there, maybe Charmy wouldn't be in emergency care right now. And on that bombshell, the crocodile left the room. Blaze stood there in shame. Amy tried to comfort her pyrokinetic friend. Blaze? Every day I fail to restore the Soul Emeralds. Is another day innocents get hurt. But that's not your fault. And Vector knows that too. Once you get the Soul Emeralds back up, you'll do everything in your power to stop Eggman, like the rest of us. But I don't know what's suppressing them, Amy. And even if I did, I fear that I alone don't have the power to restore the Soul Emeralds. Well, you won't be alone. I'll stay by your side until we can restore the emeralds and put an end to Eggman's empire. Blaze smiled a bit. Very well then. Commander, what's our first mission for the day? Amy turned on her computer and displayed a file, showing a red wolf. This is our new recruit. He goes by Gadget. He doesn't talk much. He'll be helping you break into the chemical plant. We need to get in there and get whatever information we can. I'll stay in touch. With that, the cat and the hedgehog saluted their commander before leaving to meet up with the rookie. As the door slammed behind the duo, Amy finally let out a sigh of defeat. Clearly, running the resistance for 6 months is beginning to take its toll on her. I can barely keep this resistance together. What I wouldn't give to go back to the days when it was just me and Sonic, racing from one adventure to the next. But those days are behind me. Sonic's gone. Amy felt as if she was about to cry, when suddenly she heard the door swing open once more. Cream the Rabbit walked in with a platter of tea and cookies. Good morning, Miss Amy. We know you've been working really hard recently, so me and my mom made you some treats. Amy tried her best to compose herself, but was clearly failing. Thank you, Cream. I appreciate it. Cream could just tell Amy wasn't feeling good. You know, Miss Amy, my mom says it's okay to feel scared. It's okay to feel sad, too. But it's the strength to keep going that's important. And I'm sure that Mr. Sonic would want us to keep going and stand up to Eggman and all of his meanies. Amy wiped away whatever tears were left in her eyes before embracing the little rabbit she saw as a sister. You're right, Cream. We'll keep going. For Sonic. Cream chuckled in agreement as the pair got back to work. A cool winter's breeze flows throughout West Side Island as Silver and Blaze plan out their assault on the chemical plant. You know, Blaze, I don't think Eggman's just gonna let us stroll in there. You're right. We better come up with some kind of diversion. The two begin brainstorming ideas when they suddenly hear something flying overhead. An enemy transport vessel in Eggman's likeness flies towards the chemical plant. Eggman holds prisoners here? I wouldn't be surprised if he runs deadly experiments on them. Suddenly, Silver got an idea. Well, we can't just leave them for dead, and we do need a distraction. I was thinking the same thing, Silver. Let's save 2 birds with 1 stone. The partners began their assault on the chemical plant. Psychic knives and flaming bolts erupted in all directions, destroying several egg ponds as they made their way to the prisoner holding cells. But to the surprise of the duo, there seemed to be already a breakout in progress. Several former gun agents in orange latex were attacking egg ponds in a desperate attempt to take back the chemical plant. Though the machines had the upper hand in terms of raw strength, they were quickly dispatched as Silver and Blaze entered the room. One of the inmates, former Commander Tower, approached the heroes. So, you must be part of this resistance I've heard of. Indeed we are, sir. Eggman doesn't seem to think much of you. Prove him wrong. The commander paused impressively. Look, don't worry about us. 1 trip to the weapons vault and we should be able to take care of ourselves. If you want to worry about anyone, you better check in with that red wolf heading towards the computer room. He was smart enough to start this breakout, but, well, I've known a lot of great combatants in my time, and he's not one of them. Don't worry, sir. Doesn't matter what they throw in our way. We'll blow past everything they throw at us. Together, Silver and Blaze combined their unique abilities to create a psychically charged, flaming double boost. They plow through hundreds of badniks as they make their way towards the next major structure. The pair eventually find Gadget being cornered by several badniks. The seasoned heroes destroy the enemies before helping their ally back to his feet. The rookie smiled, wordlessly thanking the pair for their assistance. "Greetings, I am Blaze, and this is Silver. We were informed you're searching for the computer room?" Gadget nodded excitedly, confirming her suspicions. "All right then, let's see what Eggman's been hiding." The trio walked towards the main computer. This could be difficult. Computers aren't my specialty." "Yeah, me neither." The pair looked over to Gadget. He whipped out a small flash drive-like device, plugging it into computer, and immediately gaining access. Impressive technology. "Yeah, not bad." The rookie was flattered by the compliment. He never dreamed he'd be working alongside such high-tier heroes. The trio began downloading all the files they could. "Okay, this is what we needed. Let's take this back to Resistance HQ so we can decode it from there." Suddenly, they got a notification on the computer. Live security footage from one of the many death eggs showed Sonic, alive, being held captive. The group was speechless. This changes everything. This could change the tide of the war. We need to get back to Resistance HQ. Everyone needs to hear this." And with that, the trio set off back to base. And this is where we'll be leaving this what if for right now. What do you guys think will happen next? I can guarantee it'll be a classic. I'm Comic Fan 13, and I hope you have a good day.